Hello, my name is Ben Sheen. I'm a managing editor here at Stratfor, and today I'm joined by Africa and security analyst Tack.
Hi, glad to be here.
Today we're going to be previewing a series on Boko Haram, which will be running next week. So, Boko Haram, they've been in the news quite a lot recently, but we've been tracking them for some time.
Right. Boko Haram has basically been on the radar since about 2009 when they become a more militant organization. They existed before that mostly as an ideological group, but since 2009 we've really seen that escalation of attacks on churches, Christian population in northern Nigeria, car bombings, and then throughout that evolution, we at Stratfor have had a very good history of tracking their activity and being able to put that in the correct context of Nigerian political evolutions.
Now, they really peaked in the mainstream media with the kidnapping of the 200 girls, but since then they've kind of fallen off the radar a little bit. What are they up to right now?
Right now, actually, we're seeing them mostly appear in high-profile car bombings in Abuja, Lagos. When I say high-profile, what I mean is that these attacks are outside of the normal area where Boko Haram operates and are into the political and economical heartlands of Nigeria, if you will. That being said, they're still attacking soft targets there, which are not necessarily a strategic threat against the Nigerian government. On the kidnapping case of the girls, the reason that's disappeared from the mainstream media for now is because that simply isn't one of those strategic threats to the government as well. It's more of something that catches attention as a human interest story, but doesn't really have any real implications on a security level within Nigeria.
Now, there have been lots of rumors about links between Boko Haram and the political and even the security forces in Nigeria itself. Do you think those are unfounded, or is there anything there?
Well, there have been a few cases where that's actually been shown true, or where officers have actually been tried by the Nigerian military. But that being said, even without evidence of these relations, it's a fact that Boko Haram depends very heavily on a large, wide support network in the north of Nigeria. Basically, there is an ethnic element to their support base, and that ethnical group also extends into political functions, as well as some military personnel. Then on top of that, you have a widespread problem of corruption in Nigeria, even among the armed forces. And it's not very unlikely that armed forces are actually selling equipment to Boko Haram or allowing Boko Haram to operate in exchange for money. We have seen Boko Haram also actively blackmail people, basically, where they will accept payoffs from politicians in order to not attack certain targets or not to bother them in any way. So the relationship between the politicians in the north in Nigeria and the military is definitely founded, although it also doesn't mean that all of these politicians are, on the side of Boko Haram or supporting them in a political way.
Now, Boko Haram aren't going to go away anytime soon. What do you think we'll see from them in the future?
What we're expecting in the future is that the main activity, the core activity of Boko Haram, which is the raids against villages in northern Nigeria, that will probably continue to be limited to that area. But what they've shown in the last few weeks is that they do have that capability to continue striking with car bombs and suicide bombers in population centers of Nigeria, like Abuja, Jos, and that they might actually be able to expand on that expertise, that they might actually be able to start hitting significant targets in Lagos. They tried this several weeks ago, but the attack had severe issues concerning planning. It wasn't very effective at all.
Yeah.
But there's a learning curve there, and they might actually move on in that. Other than that, we're also looking at Nigerian elections coming up next year, and one of the main things to look at in case there would be a northern president coming from the northern regions, he might be able to use the local politicians and local populations to increase the effectiveness of the military fight against Boko Haram in the north.
Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time to talk about today. Sim, thank you for your time. We've really only looked at some of the superficial issues surrounding Boko Haram, but if you'd like to learn more, please read our series on Boko Haram starting next week.